Stay entertained. Fort TV, Ikara Osemerirwe.
Hello viewers, welcome back to yet another episode of Mind Talks with Sandra. Thank you so much for tuning in to Fort TV. Good evening everyone. Hope you really had a very good day as I did. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is Sandra, a counselor by profession, a mental health advocate, and also co-founder of Serene Mind Care Network, an organization dedicated to supporting young people's mental health. Thank you so much for tuning in, and always catch us live every Wednesday 9 p.m. here on Fort TV. So this is your favorite show, Mind Talks with Sandra, where we do believe that healing can start with just a simple conversation. Thank you so much for always tuning in. It's going to be a safe space. Feel free to tell a friend to tune in today, as we are going to be digesting an interesting topic. And today in studio with me, I have an amazing gentleman who is going to introduce himself, and we are going to start up our conversation. Mr. Julius, you're most welcome.
Yes, thank you so much, Sandra. Delighted once again to be on this space. I'm Julius Chizito. I'm a counselor. I'm the country coordinator for your Ally Foundation, and I've had expansive counseling in rehabilitation centers for recent Hope and Beyond. So I'm humbled to be on this. Remember, I last came last month, but then you've invited me. I don't take much for granted.
Yeah, we really had an amazing conversation last time, and I'm so glad that you're back here with us. And yes, as I told you, that this is Mind Talks with Sandra, and we do believe that healing can start with just a simple conversation. Here we've heard discussions which people maybe fear to talk about openly, and today we are going to talk about it. So today we are breaking the silence, whereby we always know, almost people think that addiction is a men's problem. But surprisingly, our parents, our mothers, our daughters, our guardians, like women, are suffering silently. So today we're going to digest more about addiction in women, given that this is a Women's Month. Women's Day is on the 8th of March. So we are going to see most of women really suffer a lot with addiction, but silently, because it is labeled as a men's problem. And today we are going to digest into it. We are going to get to know how does it really affect the women out there, and how best can we seek for support, and what steps could you take to be helped as a woman suffering with any addiction, with any form of addiction. Even women fear to come out as people who are suffering with any substance use. So Mr. Julius, since we have you today in studio, and you say you have you do addiction counseling, what do you think about the way women are suffering silently with addiction, and what challenges do they face compared to men?
Yes, thank you so much, Sandra, for that. And I appreciate that we've been able to have this conversation about women struggling with substance use, because in most cases, women are not cared for. We only look out for men because this problem has been associated with men. So I want to talk about the report that was released last week, February 19th, by the Ministry of Health, the National Planning Authority, and Ministry of Finance, that showed that nearly 1 in 4 Ugandans is affected by mental illnesses. And they also told us that from 2021 to 2024, there has been a 70% increase of mental health illnesses reported at healthcare facilities. So that shows you how the problem of mental illnesses is. And of course, most of these conditions are caused by substance use, drugs, alcohol, marijuana, cannabis, etc. But in most cases, we don't mind about women, right? All the attention has been given to men because it is truly that men struggle with substance use most than women. Actually, research says twice, 2 times than women. However, when we are looking at the effects or the consequences that are resulting from this problem, it tends to be equal. So why is it that men take a lot than women? But if you are looking at the deaths that are coming from substance use, they are all at the same page. So that communicates that the few women that take, they tend to have adverse effects. So why do I think it is a silent pandemic? It's because of the societal stigma that is associated with one being a woman. You know, a woman is looked as a caregiver, a gatekeeper, the center of the family. I mean, the organization, morals, prayer, faith is all contributed by the woman. And if women face struggles, what happens? They tend to hide them because when they come out, they will be labeled. They will be, ridiculed as people who are not responsible, as people who are not good mothers. So this makes women avoid seeking help for substance use. When you go in substance use treatment centers, you find that there is the highest number of men who are being admitted. But with women, there are few. Doesn't mean that there are no women who are struggling. They are there, but they are silently struggling. So that is one aspect, the contribution of the societal influences on a woman, in that even when they are lacking, they are struggling, they find it hard to seek for support. And then another thing is that there is what we call the telescoping effect, that when women start to use substances, it is easier for them to reach the stage of addiction. So there are different stages of addiction that you start by initiating, experimenting, then misuse, then dependence, then addiction. But with women, when they start, it is easier for them
To reach the other stage.
to reach that stage. Why? There are many reasons for that. One is that women have less water in the body, so that means it takes long for them to process substances. For example, alcohol. It takes much of the time to get processed, but also women have too much fat. All that affects the metabolism of substance functioning. The other thing is that also women tend to present with underlying issues than women, than men. For example, depression, anxiety, traumatic issues. Actually, research shows that 50 to 70% of women who are struggling with substance use also have underlying traumatic experiences. What could be sexual abuse, what could be physical abuse, what could be, verbal abuse. So all this is contributing to this problem. And when it comes, are not catered for, right? Most of the treatment procedures that we have are targeting more of men
Men than women.
than women.
Yeah.
So that means even when women want help, they have challenges receiving the quality of help they need. And we already have a problem in Uganda that it's only one person out of 10 that is able to get the quality mental health care.
Oh.
So that means there are little people who get help, and with women it is worse. And women have specific needs. Motherhood,
Yep.
you need to navigate different responsibilities. Sometimes you have work, and that comes with different needs, but you also have the required. So all this puts women in a critical position,
Sure.
and this influences the substance intake. We know that 70% of women who are in treatment for substance use disorders, they have children. So now imagine that you have to leave your children
And then
behind and go for treatment. Actually, most of the women fear to reach out for support because they know their children are going to be taken away. So that all complicates their help-seeking behaviors. And of course, the substance that women are mostly using, alcohol, women are also now using marijuana, even prescription drugs. By the way, I should emphasize that women mostly use prescription drugs because of the complications. The pain is mostly associated with women. So you find them using tramadol, using pethidine to manage pain, but then these drugs are addictive.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Julius, for navigating us through that sector of women.
Here.
And as you say, that women are easily judged by the society because you take an example, a video circulates online when a woman is maybe taking shisha or taking alcohol, many people will have to talk more. Yeah, like someone saying, hey, imagine that one will be someone's wife. Then like many people complain or comment more negatively compared if it was a marriage video circulating, because we've seen it on social media. So thank you so much for taking us through that. And we do believe that everything doesn't just happen. Every behavior is triggered by something. So, Julius, based off your counseling experience, what are some of the triggers, the top 3? Let's just go with the top 3 triggers that prompt or force these women to start taking alcohol, drugs, and also we've talked about prescriptions.
Yes.
What are some of those top 3 triggers?
Yes, thank you so much, Sandra. So women face many challenges, and I would like to put this clearly that when women face distressing events or pressures, they tend to push them aside.
Oh,
And that's why we see that depression and anxiety are more
in a way.
to women. But when men face challenges, they tend to act out. That's why we see there are higher cases of suicide with men. So when women face challenges, they push them
Inside.
right? They can talk about them, which is good, but that doesn't mean that this
The problem.
effect has not been caused. So what are some of
The top 3
the
triggers.
top 3 triggers? One is stress. Stress is a big trigger for a woman. You need to navigate the caregiving role. Have children.
Have work.
Sometimes even the man is not present and caring. So it's all about you, right? And there are also needs from work. Yeah, you need to deliver at work. So all work pressures, home pressures, societal pressures, career pressures, all these can contribute to women facing stress. Now, imagine if you are a woman and also issues of infidelity are happening. Yeah, human is getting other women cheating, all this masculinity stuff that a woman feels, brought down and um, violated. All this can bring this stress, and this stress can push women to use drugs to deal with it, and we call that self-medication. But because of this inner pain, the person wants to numb the pain, so they will look for the drugs that have different effects. For example, with alcohol, it is a depressant. It's going to make them feel calm, so they will go and use the drug. For cocaine, it is a stimulant, so the person will take a cocaine to get that elevated mood or energy. So stress is one of the key the key trigger that women are facing. But also another thing that I've seen, it is when women have a partner who use. So when you have a partner
Who uses the
who is using the drug, they can easily influence you
for starting
to use, because you will know how men have that authority. So they can easily influence the woman to use. Of course, sometimes you also want to fit in, you want to show that yes, you are a supportive partner by trying out, or it is always available. We know that one of the reasons that contribute to use is the availability. And I think that's why we have the problem of alcohol use in Uganda that makes us the best consuming country in Africa. Because alcohol is everywhere. So if it is in the home, it is even in the bedroom, right?
you're
engaging in the intimate affairs with this person who is intoxicated, so you can easily get
to
use. And there is also a hormone called estrogen that is common in women. It easily influences them to get cravings. Yeah. So when they're having those cravings, it can contribute to substance use. So those are some of the key triggers using. But also another thing I should talk about is poverty.
Hey.
Oh, well, there is something I got to learn about. It started from a conversation with my client who was telling me about what mostly happens in ghettos for women who inject drugs. That when of course when someone takes a drug, it is going to push them to want another drug to get the effect. So now when this woman is given a painkiller or an opioid, that is maybe heroin, right? And then when the drug wears off, they need another dose to feel the effect. So what happens? This guy tells you, to pay me, I'm going to bring men to you, right? And you'll be paying me. So now that means it is going to be a cycle. The person takes to take away the withdrawals or the effects, but then these drugs are expensive. So poverty is also a key influencer or trigger.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Julius, for that wonderful submission. And I do believe that as you're watching, you're reflecting back on your life. So sometimes we're just causing awareness. We're not telling you to start doing it because you're facing the same challenges, but we're just trying to know what are some of the triggers. So if you've gotten to know the triggers, please do not try it. Seek for other alternatives. positive coping mechanism.
So
Yes, thank you so much. And you're still tuned in to For TV. This is Mind Talks with Sandra. We always have this conversation every Wednesday, 9 p.m. And we do believe that healing can start with just a simple conversation like this. And just in case you are triggered in any way or the other, feel free to seek for professional help. We'll be sharing our numbers down there. You'll be able to contact us to seek for professional help. And yes, Julius, you've taken us through the triggers of addiction, like why some people, some women
yes.
resort to taking alcohol, taking drugs, taking different things that they get addicted to. So Julius, maybe if I'm the caretaker and I'm now trying to relate to my person, so what are some of the signs we as people around them, even me as a person who is taking, what are some of the signs and symptoms I can look out and I get to know, the way I am right now, I think I'm addicting. What are some of the signs? The sign.
Okay, thank you so much, Sandra. Of course, sometimes it can be hard to note these signs amongst women because they have been wired. I wouldn't say wired. They have been tuned to hiding these triggers because of how the community will respond. So
Oh yeah.
they are happening silently. That means we should be vigilant. We should pay attention. So, what are some of the signs for addiction or substance use amongst women? We can look at sudden mood swings.
Yes.
Okay, so they are unexplained sudden changes in the mood of the woman. This could be your wife, this could be your mother, right? Today they have been calm, tomorrow they are extremely aggressive and irritable, right? They are snapping out to kids, right? They are always quarreling. Okay, so those sudden changes in the mood could be an indicator that this person struggles because when someone uses drugs, of course, drugs have effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, issues like irritability are very common in what we call stimulants or drugs that stimulate the central nervous system, like cocaine, like nicotine, cigarettes, like Cuba, right? So they can easily get these effects. Effects can be, these mood swings can also be withdrawal symptoms. By withdrawal symptoms, I mean the effects the person gets when a drug is weird off. So the body is demanding for the substance. So mood swings, that's one. Isolation and withdrawal. So this is a woman that has been very active in church, in the community, at work. But now they are no longer coming, they are no longer interested. Actually, they are even switching off their phones, right? They are locking themselves in the bed or in the room. That can also be a warning sign that this woman might be struggling with substance use. So let's try to observe how the social interactions are and the participation in these social interactions. Then we can also look at the physical symptoms. There are things that we can see and get to figure out what this person could be struggling with substance use. For example, unkempt. The hygiene starts deteriorating. She's no longer,
now they're for shabby.
not bathing.
Yes.
That could be something that worries. If a woman likes taking care of themselves and now they are no longer taking care of themselves, that should worry us. It could be a warning sign of substance use. So we can look at other physical symptoms. For example, body body weight, like the person loses the weight.
Mm.
So person is leaning out of
Because maybe these people, when they're even using these drugs, they don't like eating, they
Yeah,
don't eat, or all the time they just get to the time they give, they just use it for taking that drug and all that.
Yes.
Yes, and also the next effect. Now someone is the body weight is changing.
Yes.
The body weight is changing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, with that, we can also look at overeating.
Oh,
Yeah, some drugs make
them
like
overeat.
marijuana. Sometimes it gives people too much appetite.
Oh,
So when a woman has been having a normal schedule or routine of eating, but now it is becoming exaggerate.
that means it doesn't just affect. Sometimes it affects. Some people become so slim, others become
Yeah,
big. Like changing weight. Someone is
change.
okay. Someone is
Yeah, change.
okay.
The change in the weight can vary whenever it's even depression does that.
Yeah.
Yes. So bloodshot eyes. We can also look at the skin. Some drugs can even affect the skin. If the woman is injecting, maybe they're injecting heroin, you can easily see, or pethidine, you can easily see sores on their bodies. Still with physical signs, loss of sleep, or lack of sleep. So they are spending nights without. This is your partner, and she's now not sleeping the whole night. The next day, I'm forgetting it, but when they now have too much sleep, hyposomnia, right? So that's when the person has too much sleep, 9 to maybe 12 hours of sleep. Someone is sleeping the whole day.
That maybe they used to be so active.
Yeah, so loss of energy. They're no longer having
That
energy. All those physical signs that should worry us. But then there are also other signs that we can look at. Of course, mental. Okay. Uncoordinated speech. So this is your wife, but now the things they are saying, they are not making sense to you. This is uncoordinated speech, hallucinations, that they are saying things that
I'm not
not there, or they are hearing voices that are not there. Delusions, believing things that are not true. All those should be warning signs for women. So those are some of the warning signs that we need to pay attention, right? Changes in the mood, the physical signs,
for the emotional.
the emotional signs, but
And maybe sad, these people now, because if you're looking at addiction, like someone cannot do away with the drug. Someone maybe is to take a few bottles, and now we can't even spend a day without taking that bottle, or going out for a bar, or taking that drug.
Yeah.
So it's also something that you should look out for. And what you should know, that these signs most times cut across different other mental health issues. So self-diagnosis is not advised. So just in case you see such symptoms in your loved ones, please seek for professional help. And as I've said, we are going to be sharing our numbers. You can always call and get help. And yes, Mr. Julius, it will be so absurd if we talk about each and everything now, like the one we've talked about, the signs, the triggers, and all that, and we leave the people hanging. Because someone might want to know what are some of the steps I can take to be better now, since maybe I've gotten to know the symptoms. I might be addicted, or I might be under substance use. What are some of the steps those people can take to be better? Because we are breaking the silence. A woman might be there being like going through all these, and now she's like, okay, now I've gotten the awareness. So what is next? What can I do next? Yes, Julius. Next.
Mm-mm.
Yes, Julius.
Thank you so much. Fortunately, there is something we can do about it. The women that are struggling, but also the people that are around them. You know, these are our mothers, these are our spouses, these are our grandmothers.
And these are our daughters as well.
Yeah, so we need to, there is something we can do about them. Maybe I should also emphasize that addiction is different from substance use. No,
Right.
substance use is when the person takes the drug, right? Yeah, and it's not yet affecting them, right? But then substance use disorders or addiction is a brain disease where the person takes the drug repetitively,
Okay.
right? Compulsively, yeah, despite the negative consequences. So there are consequences that are happening, but the person continues to use. There are many reasons for that. Changes in the brain, underlying issues, yeah, genetics. We know that 40 to 60% of people struggling with substance use disorders are genetically predisposed. That in your family there is someone who could have struggled with the same problem. So people need to understand that, right? All these symptoms we are talking about are manifesting in a person who has reached that stage of addiction.
Yeah.
Unfortunately or fortunately, is that when you start taking, we don't know how long will it take for you to
Get addicted.
to get addicted, because we've seen in children or adolescents, it is hard for them to reach that stage. And also amongst women, according to the reasons I gave, it is easier for them, but also other issues contribute to that. So my point of view, my emphasis is that it's better not to start if you haven't started. And it's also better to seek for help if you're struggling. So one thing is identifying triggers. Okay?
What triggers you?
Know what triggers you. We call that places, things, and people.
Okay.
So which people that can affect your mood or influence, you know that when I get to Julius, I can't avoid taking. So I know that Julius is a strong trigger. Then it could be because this person affects your mood. Maybe they speak to you things that demotivate you, and that feeling makes you go to use. Then let's also look at the places.
Yeah.
Which places make you vulnerable to the use of substances? But every time I cross to the bar,
I can't.
I can't spend. I can't live without taking a drug. So get to know the places, and also there are things. By things, I'm looking at objects. Yeah, but for those who inject, well, when they see these injections, it is easy to bring them cravings, you know. So you need to understand that, but also look at other four things. One is the hunger, Angela, right? Look at the anger of soul, right? Look at also loneliness.
What do you do when I know?
Most people use because they feel alone. They feel not emotionally connecting with the world.
So they feel like they need something to watch 5 years.
Yes, and that way they create a bond with the drug, but we need to disintegrate.
And I always hear people say that they are like the bottle, the bottle for beer and all that. They are best friend, like some might call it my best friend.
That's
that
emotional bond
Yeah.
that comes with sometimes loneliness, then also tiredness. Yeah, some people use because they're tired. So try to map out those triggers that make you vulnerable. Well, I know your triggers you can avoid. For example, if you know that you're allergic to certain flowers,
you can
don't go there, right?
Yeah.
If you know that you're allergic to maybe a certain thing, you always avoid it. But
Avoid
if you don't know, they can always pull you back. Then another thing, what women should do, or what we can do to support them, is that we need to build a supportive network. Right? I think it is Aristotle or Marcus Aurelius, who says that man is a social creature or being. So we always want to connect. Yeah, and sometimes even that leads us to problems. So we need to create a supportive network. A network that is going to support this recovery, that is going to support this sober life. So in addiction, there is what we call AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, NA, Narcotics Anonymous. These are groups of people who are struggling with the same problem. So they come together, share experience, and share their stories, and also support each other. Okay.
And sometimes when us, if we're dealing with the same problem, and maybe just for you overcame it, I'll be easily motivated. Okay, I thought I wouldn't be able to make it, but someone else did it.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, that's really amazing.
Yeah, you need to know that there is hope, right? But also having that emotional support from your family. You're down, the drug is affected your maybe marriage, has affected your studies, so you need that support. Yeah. So we also need to tap into your family, those close relationships that you build. So, and also the support system can go beyond your family or the people who are struggling, even your circle, your friends. There should be people that are supporting you to get
better.
It can still be enlarged to the community, to the religious leaders, right? Mentors. All that is important in supporting a sober life or with a woman who is struggling with substances. Another thing that is also very critical is building a routine. So what do I mean by a routine? How do you spend your day?
Why?
Okay. Are there things that are structured
to push you back?
Yeah, to push you through the day. And this is very important even when we are managing depression, but we encourage people to have that routine, that lifestyle that in the morning, I'm going maybe to pray. I'm going to have 30 minutes of jogging. I'm going to have 30 minutes of breathing in and breathing out. At this time, I'll be taking lunch, right? I'll be having enough sleep. Enough sleep is critical for our emotional development and also the mental capacities. So you as a woman who is watching this, you need to build that routine, or we need to support this woman to have
a routine.
What are we going to be doing here? Because if we don't engage them with a routine, the drugs will always come in to occupy
the things.
So that is also very, very, very critical for women who are struggling with substance use. Another thing that I should say is seeking help. I know that there are social, there is stigma that is around women struggling, but it makes them to fear reaching out. But it's better to reach out and get support than keeping silent and keep struggling. So I would encourage women who are struggling in substances, we all fall into troubles. right? No one wakes up wanting to get addicted, but because of the many issues that contribute. So I wouldn't say that it is entirely your fault. I would say that you are a human that can also make mistakes.
Yeah.
And there are professionals
Who can help?
that are trained in supporting you go through that problem. I always say that addiction thrives in isolation. And when there is connection, the person gets the good pathway. So look for the rehabilitation centers, talked about Hope and Beyond, Serenity, Focus on Recovery, all these centers that are supporting people struggling with mental illnesses. Yeah, so those are some of the key things I think a woman should do. Now, to us who are supporting them, I also feel we need to be empathetic.
Definitely. Not
We-
judging.
We should not judge people struggling with substances, labeling them. You know, you're calling them addicts, you're calling them junkies, you know, you're calling them all those undeserving names. If we don't get to the point where we differentiate a person with the illness, that is going to affect treatment, because we are going to take the person as the illness, not the person who is having the struggle. So that human person-centered approach is very important when supporting our.
Thank you so much, Julius, for all like you've really given us the steps which we should follow to live better. And what I can tell our listeners outside there, like healing is a process. Yeah, maybe today if you try it out and you feel like it's not working, keep being consistent. Like try to do other different things to see that you're becoming better. As he has said, try to seek for support. Professional help can also help you. Connect with people as he has said. Like try out different things. You never know what will work for you, and have it in your mind that it's a process. You've really been maybe like that for some good time. It's not going to just change in just a blink of an eye. You need to be intentional. I was reading and they were saying that for any human behavior to change, it takes about 18 days to 254 days. So if you do those things maybe in a week and you don't see any change, you're like, okay, I think I'm not going to change. I failed. So it's just a process. You just need to be intentional. You as a human being, you just need to be intentional, because still I was reading and they said any behavior can be changed.
Yeah.
Because the neurons in our brains interact with each other each and every day. So it's
Right.
yes, they do always rewire. So it's about you as an adult. You have to be so much intentional, because our brain is so much used to shortcuts. It is always easier for us to do that non-path.
Looking for the
Yes.
shortcut.
Mm.
So
So
I agree.
yes, every time you're pushing it to be uncomfortable, where like the things that is not used to also try to protect itself. Like I'm used to this, I'm used to this. So you need to have to be more intentional and be ready to change.
Yeah.
As he has said, find out your triggers. What is that thing that triggers me to do this thing? So the moment you find your triggers, it will be easier for you to change, because you know if I get near to that person, I'll be pushed to go where I came from. Or if I have the beers around me, they'll prompt me to take them. So try out to find out what will be your triggers and find ways on how to deal with them. So yes, so what I can tell you is that healing is possible. You can be better. You can, you're thinking like, will I even have a day where I'll be there and I'll not crave any alcohol or any drug or anything? That day will come. And I do believe that if you trust that process, you'll get to that. And thank you so much for being good listeners. And Julius, before maybe we end the show, do you have something you'd like to add?
Yeah.
Something you'd like to add?
Yeah. Yes, thank you so much. When you were talking about that, I remembered that we should also learn to celebrate our wins.
Definitely.
Uh,
Yes.
Recovery from drugs is one of the challenging journey.
Mm.
Yeah, there are going to be ups and downs.
Mm.
Yeah, so sometimes you might not see those big changes, but are we able to see the small changes?
Change.
Gratitude is such shows that people who are grateful tend to have better results in with their mental being and life satisfaction. So that is one. Then, secondly, it is going to the community and the people. That we need to understand that women also are humans. They struggle, right? As we struggle. So our approach in supporting them is very critical. So let's be empathetic. Let's understand that when we stand together, we can achieve. When we are divided, pulling lobes, everyone is on their way. That means the big thing is going to be hard to get. And of course, please reach out for support when you are struggling. I talked about what this disease, this problem grows. So every time we keep silent, it continue growing. So, and when it grows, it can now come with many issues. I talked about that someone who uses drugs can develop mental health issues, other mental health issues. You've been having maybe alcohol use. Now you're developing personality disorders like borderline personality disorder, which is common with people who are using alcohol. So we need to reach out for support and also be empathetic to one another.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I stay Munachalo, a village champion. I believe that every child should be supported.
Yes, thank you so much, Julius. And also, you've talked about, this substance use can also cause other problems to us, given that maybe you're using money to buy the alcohol, you're using money to buy the drugs. Now, maybe it's a school fees week.
Yeah.
So you use the money, you remember all the days you spent the money. Now, your kids have to go back to school, but you've remembered the day. Now the stress is coming in, the depression is coming in, the pressure from your kids is now affecting you. So definitely these things work hand in hand. So we should, as you said, if you've not tried it, please do not. And if you're just on the way, you've not yet reached up there, you have a chance to, and you have a chance to stop. Yes. Thank you so much for being great listeners. As I said before, if you're triggered in any way or the other, please reach out for support. He is there. He can support you. And also you can come to Serene Mind Care Network. We can also do the supporting. I'll be sharing our numbers down there and you'll be able to contact us. Thank you so much. This is Mind Talks with Sandra. And we always have this as talks every Wednesday, 9 p.m. And I'm your host, Sandra. I'm a counselor by profession, and I'm the co-founder of Serene Mind Care Network. Thank you so much for always tuning in. We love you all. Bye.